2011 Staccato C, baby. The gun, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this magical trigger. Really nice trigger, as always. Take this out. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the Concealed Carry channel. I am Grant McLean. Today we have another awesome review. 2011 Staccato C, baby. We're going to do as we usually do a formal unboxing so you can see what it's going to be like if you were to buy one from the store. Share some range footage with you guys, and of course break the gun down from the sights to the magazine. That way you can make a well-educated decision on whether or not this is going to be a good fit for you. Before we jump into this, those of you who are Patreon supporters, thank you guys so much for your support. You guys are helping make this channel a possibility for us to do full-time. So thank you so much. We would love for you to help us out and be a Patreon supporter as well. You can go down into the description below, find our Patreon link at the top there, click on that, and it'll take you to the Patreon page and support the channel any way that you can. We greatly appreciate it. You can get extra exclusive content to Beyond the Black Shirt supporters. That's going to take you beyond what we'd show here on the Concealed Carry channel. We're going beyond the black shirt. It's nice. You can also get an entry in for this quarter's giveaway, which is going to be a awesome Traeger pellet grill, smoker, outdoor oven, outdoor awesome everything. I have a Traeger, you guys. I really like it a lot. So I wanted to gift someone a Traeger this quarter. One of our lucky Patreon supporters is going to be winning that. If you need to get a gun, visit nwarmory.com. Northwest Armory has been a great supporter of the channel. You can do an in-store pickup or have it shipped to your local FFL. If you want to order some of the awesome targets that we have here on the channel, visit xhunttargets.com. They do the reactive targets that we use here on the channel. They're great people and make great product. Let's go ahead and jump into the unboxing portion or unbagging portion of this review. 2011 Staccato C. These are like the creme de la creme of, 1911s brought into the modern age. The C model is a compact model. If you are looking for a 1911 style platform, you want a compact 9mm, this is definitely what you want to look at. It has this beautiful case that comes with it, very well made. Open that baby up. Now, on the one side, we have some paperwork here, and we have 3 magazines. These are 8-round magazines. You get 3 of them there. On the other side, the firearm. Ooh, yes. Look at that beauty. My goodness. Beautiful. Let's get that safety flag out of there. Yeah. And then we have a holster, which is pretty cool. These are actually very nice holsters. I've started to become kind of a fan of these crucial concealment holsters. Nice Kydex holsters, ambidextrous, so you can switch that back and forth, and then you can adjust the angle there. But one of the things that I like about these is it has a cutout for an optic already on the holster, so you don't need to modify that at all. And then you'll have a couple screws down here to adjust the tension depending on how firm you want that to be in your holster. This is going to come with it. Very cool. Gosh, this is such a nice gun. All right, let's go ahead and set the gun aside here real quick. We're going to talk about that. On the outside of the bag, you have a zipper here, and inside this, we have a lot of stuff in there. So, of course, you have your lock, and then, oh my gosh, you're going to have all these things. So many things, you guys. So you have some Allen wrenches there. You have your Dawson precision tools there for the optic plate. And then you also have, oh, here it is, the Dawson fiber optic sight replacement sights there if you need to replace those. So all those things are inside that side pocket along with a manual, some extra paperwork. Well, this is, I thought, kind of cool. Yeah, you have your test fire little card here, but you also have the card to the final assembly gunsmith. So, Mr. Keegan, big shout out to you. You assembled this gun beautifully. The gun, let's talk about it. Staccato C 2011. This is a single stack, 9mm. So inside that magazine, it's going to hold 8 rounds plus 1 in the chamber if you so choose to have it that way. You get 3 of these magazines in with the firearm. I would consider this to be a compact firearm based on its dimensions. So what we have here is we have a 3.9-inch barrel. The length on this is 7.5 inches. The height with the magazine in is 4.9. And we have a width of 1.1. So this is a very thin gun. That's the only part that I would say this is not so compact, is the width only. But the rest of it, I would say the dimensions are pretty much a compact. The weight empty is 1 pound 9 ounces. It's not a light gun, as most 1911 platforms are metal on metal, so that's to be expected. But this thing is a shooter. It is a very nice shooter. And what you're looking at for price on this guy is about $1,500, $14.95. Not bad in my opinion, especially with all of the labor and love going into this gun. Let's talk about this at the range, since we're talking about shooting. Here we are. We have our usual 3, 5, 7, and 10 yards. And what we're doing here, or at least our goal is, of course, is to do 5 shots in 2 seconds. At the 3 yards, we have a 2.1-inch group. You can see those 4 rounds were just really tight, you know, a couple of them stacked right on top, and then we got a little flyer down there at the bottom. Not too shabby right there. The 5 yards, we had a 1.8-inch group. That one was a little low. Not too happy about that, but at the same time, this is the first time I've shot this gun, so not too upset about that. We're going to go into 7 yards. We got a couple almost stacked on top of each other there. This was a 2.1-inch group. Not bad, of course. And 10 yards, 2.25-inch group. Got another couple. Look at this. I almost on each one, I got a couple just barely stacked on top of each other. Now, if you've seen any of my other range experiences, without adjusting the sights, I do tend to drift off to the left a little bit. And, of course, it shows here I didn't adjust these sights at all. And I was off to the left just a little bit, not too far, maybe about 2.5 inches from center at 10 yards. And that was my furthest shot over to the left, was about 2.5 inches off the center. So not too upset about that by any means. I know with, obviously, more time behind the trigger, this is going to get better and better and better. It doesn't have a super long sight radius, so, I mean, I'm not upset at that at all in my first go-around with the gun. Let's talk about this gun as we usually break this down from sights to magazine. Let's go. We'll start off with the front sight. This is a dovetail front sight, and it is a fiber optic front sight. And currently it is the red fiber optic plastic insert in there now. You saw earlier, I showed you it has some replacement ones. There is a green one, so if you do want to do the green high vis, by all means do that. Very easy to pick up on. On the back, we have kind of a unique setup here. So we do have a nicely machined rear sight. This is a dovetail sight, and it is easily adjustable. And I like how this adjustment works. So you actually have an Allen right here on top of the optic plate. This has an optic plate too, that you can adjust that sight, and there's a little indent where it shows you where the center is. And I do like that, because sometimes you're adjusting it but you don't really have like a point of reference of where the center is. That's really nice that it does already have that. Now let's talk about this optic plate. The optic plate is part of the rear sight, so if you decide to take off the optic plate, you are going to take off the rear sight. The optic plate is nice and low, so I like that, where those optics sit nice and low. It's very natural to kind of find that red dot. When the optic is sitting higher, I find that it's a little bit more difficult. This one is going to sit nice and low into the slide. You have the tools in the case to be able to remove that. Love the sights, everything about them so far. The slide is beautifully machined. Big old fat front serrations. I like that a lot for manipulating the front of that slide and doing those press checks if you need to. The slide is super buttery smooth. I have the Staccato C here. And same thing, nice serrations, buttery smooth slide as well. Whenever I hand one of these 2011 Staccatos to somebody, one of the first things they do is they check to see, is it loaded, make sure it's not loaded, and they look at me like, whoa, what was that? Like, this is really light. I was like, well, yeah, look at the price tag. It better be. The rear serrations, equally as awesome as the front serrations. I like those a lot. Again, very easy to get a hold of and manipulate those as well. So big fan of all that. The machining is beautiful on that slide. One of the things that's awesome about this gun is this barrel. So take a look at this thing. Look how massive this bull barrel is. It has a crowning up front, beautiful. But to give you an idea of the difference in this, I'll grab this Glock real quick and we'll put it side by side. Look at the difference in that. How crazy. Big, massive bull barrel on this baby. Let's go ahead and go down into the controls here. Let's start off with the safety. So the safety is pretty much your, kind of 1911 safety. It is ambidextrous, as you can see. Very easy to manipulate with your thumb. So I like that a lot. Then you have your slide lock lever, and this one is very easy to manipulate as well. If you're not too familiar with the 1911 platform, typically with that slide lock release lever, you're going to be operating that with your support hand like this. So on your last shot, it's going to lock back the slide, and you're going to insert that magazine, and boom, right back into action. So you're going to be operating that slide lock release lever with your support hand, and it works very well. Nice big, nice serrations on there, easy to get a hold of. Like that a lot. Talking about the safety on this gun, you have obviously the thumb safety, but then you also have the palm safety there, and the palm safety is nice, smooth. When it's depressed, it lines up with the grip very nicely. There isn't like a big giant gap there where it feels like you have a pinch zone or anything like that for your palm. Everything very nice there. Then we have the magazine release. Now the magazine release is not ambidextrous. As you can see here, it is not ambidextrous. So for you southpaws, unfortunately, bummer, as it comes from the factory. For those of you who have medium to smaller size hands, something you have to get used to with a 1911 platform is they are thin, but they're wide. And things like the slide lock release and the mag release, you are going to have to get used to the fact that you're not going to be able to just reach those very easily. And you want to make sure that you practice in, switching your hand around and kind of reaching out with your thumb to get a nice positive purchase on that mag release, because it can be out of reach, and more than likely it will be out of reach. So something to keep in mind for those of you who are looking for a compact 1911 platform or this specific gun. All right, I've dealt with that for years because I have medium-sized hands, and you know what, I've just kind of gotten used to it, and it doesn't bother me at this point. So just something to keep in mind. Let's talk about the trigger, this magical trigger. Now, those of you who have seen some of my other reviews know that I am a big fan of 1911s, and one of the things I love about 1911s is the trigger, and one of the things that drove me to get a Staccato is the trigger as well. Really nice trigger, as always. Well, this one definitely does not disappoint. One, it looks awesome, that cool skeletonized look. It has the serrations on the trigger itself. It is adjustable, but this is such a light trigger. This is a competition trigger for sure, and I like it a lot. Let's go ahead and do some trigger pulls on this, huh? Ooh, that trigger feels nice. All right, you have a itty bitty take up. I'm talking like a 1/16 of an inch take up. You're gonna hit that wall, and then bang. It's 1/16 of an inch. I'm telling you. And this trigger is like a 3.5 pound trigger. Now check out the reset. Watch this. Oh, there it is. That's it. It's like nothing. It's awesome. I love that. 1911s, favorite triggers. Staccatos, even more favorite triggers. I love those, and they're adjustable too. Can't say enough good things about these triggers, and those of you who have been behind the trigger of one of these know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is the fit and finish I was talking about earlier when I was talking about the price. The attention to detail, the fit, the finish, the manual labor from real badass gunsmiths. This is what you're paying for. The frame on this gun is kind of unique. It's a couple separate pieces, whereas you might find the trigger guard to be part of also this rail piece. This is almost like a grip module in a certain fashion. Up front here, you can see obviously you have that 2011 insignia milled into the rail piece right underneath that slide. Just beautifully, looks really, really good. You can also see over here the Staccato insignia looks great, and then you have the American flag back here, which looks awesome too. Going back into like the trigger guard, this is actually the trigger guard and the grip itself, panels and front strap. This is all one piece, and it's polymer, and there is some really nice grip that they have going on here. And you can see that they have the cool little Staccato STI star right there. And the texturing is aggressive, but it's not something that I feel is going to like ruin your clothing if you're concealed carrying this. Up front here on the front of the trigger guard, you'll have some more texturing, but check out this undercut. Look at that. Nice high undercut. You have the kind of like a slight hook here at the front of the trigger guard, and then you have another nice high undercut there at the bottom of that trigger guard, letting you get your support hand also nice and high into the gun. This kind of reminds me of my Icarus grip for my P320. You can see that it has that extra little undercut underneath the trigger guard there. So you can kind of see that resemblance here. Big fan of that. Like it a lot. There's so much attention to detail put into this gun. I just can't say enough good things about it. The other parts of the grip that I like too are going to be kind of this finger groove here, and then also here next to the trigger itself. So you'll see that's on both sides. And that lets me get a little bit more positive of a purchase onto the trigger. I don't have a whole lot of material on the opposite side here that's going to make my finger not be able to get a good positive grip on there. So if you're a left-hand shooter, you're going to have that same type of experience there. And then, of course, on your middle finger, it's going to be able to tuck up nice and tight on that undercut because they've kind of cut that in, which I do like a lot. Down here on the bottom of the magwell, it's flared slightly. They don't have just this big giant flare on there, which I don't know if you'd necessarily want that, being that this would be more of a concealed carry gun, or at least a carry gun. So very easy to go ahead and seat those mags in there. Looks great, fits perfect. I like that a lot. So really fabulous gun. What a great shooter as well. I would say that if you can appreciate the way that a 1911 or 2011 is designed and assembled, you know that they're meant to be hand fitted. And if you have that appreciation, then I don't think that you're gonna have an issue spending around $1,500. Now, when you take that and you also add it to fit, finish, aesthetics, attention to detail, things that this gun has, it makes that $1,500, in my opinion, a really good value. Especially, this will be a gun that you're going to keep forever, and more than likely it's just going to appreciate in value. So I really like this gun for those reasons as well, not just how great of a shooter it is, and that is the product of everything that I just said there as well. I would also love to hear from you guys in the comments below. Tell me what you think about this gun. I love hearing from people who own this gun, considered this gun. Even if you decided to go a different route, I would love to hear why. And I think that's going to help viewers who are considering buying this gun overall. I want to say thank you again to our Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you would like to be a Patreon supporter, we would greatly appreciate the support to the channel. Go down in the description below, click our Patreon link. It'll take you to our page. And support us in any way you can and be greatly appreciated. If you do need to get a gun, visit nwarmory.com. Have it shipped to your local FFL, or pop into Northwest Armory, do a local pickup. If you want to get some awesome targets, go to xhunttargets.com, order up some targets, have them shipped to your home. You'll like them very much. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us today for the Staccato C review. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and share the channel with your friends, family, and other enthusiasts. And we will see you next time here on the Concealed Carry channel. Hell yeah, we got something cool today.
Something cool every day.
Today is something really cool. I'm excited about this one. Oh shit, I'm excited about all of them. Even the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard I was excited about.
People would beg to differ on that.
Excited to tell somebody something. Excited to piss somebody off. So I wanted to gift someone a Traeger this quarter. One of our lucky Patreon supporters is going to be winning that. And with the Beyond the Black Shirt stuff, you also get exclusive content. And I'm just repeating exactly what I just said 30 seconds ago. Yeah, baby. Beyond the Black Shirt. Let's talk about it some more. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We just talked about that shit. Beyond the Black Shirt's badass. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Beyond the Black Shirt. Super cool shit.
It's like a garage door. What's behind your garage?
If you need a gun, you get 3 of these magazines in with the I would love to hear from you guys your thoughts on this gun. Jeez. Okay. Oh my gosh. And do a local pickup. They're fantastic people. Fantastic. Okay. All right.